If you're going to overeat, it's much better that you overeat on carbs than on fats. Fat cells have a half-life of about 600 days, so when you overeat fats and they get stored in your adipose tissue or in your cell membranes, they are stuck there for years. But when you overeat on carbs, your body can only store so much of those carbs as glycogen, so there's a process called de novo lipogenesis, and those carbs get turned into a fat. Mainly those fats are palmitic acid and oleic acid, and those then get stored in your cells. But palmitic and oleic acid are much less harmful than other forms of fats like omega-6 oils or omega-6 fatty acids. So in excess of carbs, that goes towards glycogen storage, so I'll be able to use that up for energy, or it gets stored as a pretty good form of fat, whereas if I overeat on fat, it's not getting used directly for energy via glycogen. And a lot of times when you're overeating fat, you might be getting some of those more inflammatory fatty acids that are now going to be stuck in your cell membranes, in your adipose tissue for years. So if you're going to be in a caloric surplus, you want to either go higher carb, lower fat, or you can go with higher fat, but make sure it is really stable sources of fat like butter, ghee, coconut oil, things that are not going to oxidize, go rancid, or damage your cells with inflammation over time.
The best solution, don't overeat like ever. But if you already fucked up, whether the majority of those excess calories comes from carbs or fat, it won't matter if calorie excess is the same, equated, if total daily caloric intake is the same on that day you overate. Not to mention, unless you were on some super low carb diet prior to that day you decided to fuck things up, to stuff your face, to overeat, your glycogen stores were never entirely depleted to begin with. As a matter of fact, they probably weren't even close to fully depleted. So by overeating on carbs, you'll reach and surpass that max glycogen storage capacity real fast and real easy. And even if you overeat strictly on carbs, body can easily convert excess ingested carbs into fat in the liver and store them directly into adipose tissue. So in both cases, once you go past that tipping point, if the amount of excess calories is the same, body will store approximately the same amount into adipose tissue. It's just that dietary fat can get stored basically immediately, while carbs have to go through the conversion process. Plus the fact it's easier to overeat on dietary fat, basically ingest more calories, because dietary fat has 9 calories per gram while carbs have 4 calories per gram. And irrelevant of the type of fat ingested, that fat always gets stored in a form of triglycerides in fat cells. So the type of fat has nothing to do with the fat cells half-life, because when we're losing body fat, we're basically depleting those fat cells of triglycerides. We don't lose fat cells. So the rate at which you're going to lose fat afterwards or deplete your fat cells of triglycerides depends primarily on how large of a deficit you're in, not the type of fat or whether you overate on carbs or fat. The only reason why he even brought up that initial part is because he's basically talking about optimizing health. His whole page revolves around health optimization bullshit, not body composition. Which is kind of ironic, because the fastest and the most efficient way to improve your health is to improve your body composition. But I guess that's the subject for another time.